Jesus, an angel, was born of a woman, making an angel come from the womb of a woman, causing him room to visit upon the earth. How then do you think other angels get to live here that have fallen, but without visitation rights of the womb? It is not in who the angel is, it is in whom the angel did come. You can go to my page for more of this brief information at Freedom from the Night with your host, Shantae Washington. Repent, firstborns, so that you can be approved to go into the world amongst our enemy. Hello and welcome. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. Where we last left off at was about the warriors. Oh yeah, the warriors. And it's that time. The time is coming. It's in the spirit and truth where you can't see it until it comes to the surface if you're carnal. If you are carnal, you will see it last minute, and that doesn't mean you know. Okay? That doesn't mean you are awake just because you've seen it when it came to your carnal self. No, that's not what that is. So today I'm just going to talk about what I last left off at last time. And that is that warriors, aka army men, the true nature, the true nature, all right? And that is in spirit and in truth. Understand? But a lot of us going to war off of what we see, which is causing death to many of our soldiers. And they can't even go up a rank. They can't go up a rank because they getting cut off short from even following through. Okay? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And talking about the people who in the streets, who in the hood, but don't understand that you have a God now. You are not God. Now, although it says that we were gods, and I know that people still teach on this that we are gods, but that that wasn't right in the first place. I mean, we teaching on stuff that we think that we supposed to be teaching on, but we know that wasn't right in the first place. We became like God. So therefore, in the Bible, along the Bible, it spoke about how we were gods, of course, because in the beginning, when Eve ate on of that tree, and Adam did too, we became like God, and He kicked us out of the Garden of Eden. So then we had to start all over again. So it was many people that has forgotten where they came from. Many of people that have forgotten where they came from. And so that what they do is they go back to the roots of the surface, which is the flesh, and they go off of what that is to make themselves become something. And that ain't where we supposed to be at. It's supposed to be in spirit and in truth, the true nature of a man, the man of God. All right. So this is my channel. This is your host, Shantae. Again, family, you can call me Sean, and please do share this. Share this because it needs to get out. This word needs to get out. This is some updated news, some broadcasting updated news, some good broadcasting updated news. Done the supernatural way. And it cannot be no other way. Again, if you're seeing it surface wise, that's too late. That's too late. And somebody gonna get got. So it's spiritually done over here. Okay. Before it hit the surface, I'm trying to let you know because it's very important that you know as a child of God. All right. So again, even the less is just as much as the better. All right. Meaning that the last will be first, the first will be last. Let me tell you something. The less is going to be as though one with the better. So it ain't gonna be no difference. You understand? It's not gonna be a difference.
Jesus, an angel.
I got that. It's not gonna be a difference. Not one bit. It's not gonna be a difference. So let me just tell you where I last left off at the last time, and it was about the and there's some good breaking updated news now. Hear me, hear me, hear me well. Share this and also like it down below because it's important for you to know, to all my leaders, male and females, as you are becoming one with one another. Okay? As you are becoming one with one another. Although it may not seem like you're becoming one because it's still out in the world, you're looking at that. But we really are becoming one in the spirit and truth. Yes, we are. Because you know why? Because we know a Jesus. We know a Jesus. And he wins every time. Every time he wins. So again, um, there is where I last left off is that the movie called The Back to the Future. Okay. And yesterday I had went on a fast yesterday, so that's why I didn't come on here yesterday. So today we gonna do what we gotta do. I had to give the Lord some time, and that's what I did. But so um, in Back to the Future, that mainly was about a man who um who went back to the future in his present self, went back to his past self, so that he can, so that things can be a certain type of way towards his future, which means he had an out of body experience, meaning he took himself out of his body to go back to his past so that he can do things right. But it wound up turning wrong because he wind it's some people that died, and including himself almost died because he was running out of time. So himself almost died in the process of trying to change his past. you know, trying to look out for his past, meaning he was trying to go and he had an out of body experience coming back into his body, his flesh self. Okay, because that's our past self. Our flesh self is our past self. So he had an out of body experience coming back to his past self so that he can get the things done that he need to get done in the future, but almost lost his life and other people almost died. All right. So it ain't right to be just about it ain't right to be about your physical self. It is righteous to be about your spiritual business, about your spiritual self in that way. All right. So let me move on with that because I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna talk more about that later on in another video. All right, because I'm gonna use this Back to the Future again. Okay, I'm gonna use that again. So we got some good breaking news over here. All right. So as I'm seeing in my notes, the Lord had told me um, that again. It says again there is a hollow point between you now and the you that's going to be later. There's a hollow point there. And if it's consistently being filled with darkness, you won't be able to make it through that darkness without either going insane or having some, which is a sickness, going through a death, which you off the face of this earth physically, or going through a disease, which means that you're going to be sick, or you're going to lose a leg, a arm, a foot, some sort of disease that's going to cause you to be without a legum or something, okay? Or just body in general is going to be dead. So we have to be careful in the things that we are doing, all right? Because that hollow point is there. That hollow point is all around us. And I'm going to go off into that too in another video, all right? I'm going to go off into that too in another video. That hollow point. And I mean, I'm not going to get too deep in it, but I'm going to just go into it in my next video or in another video, all right? So that hollow point is what's going to, it's a space between who you are now and who you are then going to be in the future. So you have to get that hollow point that's between you now and you later, which is your future self. You have to understand that first of all, you have to understand that your steps are numbered. Understand? So remember what I said about going up the steps. Taking steps is the same thing as having a dream about going up steps. Going up steps. You're not mainly you're not moving forward as you take a step. You're taking steps up, meaning up a level. Okay? You're taking steps up levels. You're not only moving forward, you're taking steps up levels. So remember that. And so that again, that hollow space, go back to the hollow space, that hollow space in between us that we don't see in the physical and that we can only see in the spiritual is a voided space. It's a dark hole, something that we all got to get through. And the only way you can get through it is if it's holy there, holy in between there. It has to be holy. That's the only way you can make it through it without going insane, which is a sickness, death, or a disease happening to you. That's the only way that you can move forward is if, again, your numbers, your steps being numbered before you moving forward is holy. That's the only way you can make it. If it's darkness there, you do not know what date you finna go. You don't know. So that hollow point to get you to where you need to get to has to be holy. That's the number one thing you need to remember. In everything that you get understanding and know that it has to be holy. Got to be holy. It has got to be holy. It ain't right if it ain't holy. Okay? So you are today, who you are today, and the you're going to be has to be holy. It's a must. So as we know, Moses showed us that when he stepped on the holy ground, right? When Moses stepped on the holy ground, he showed us that it had to be holy. And he also had to take off the shoes because he walked in them shoes for many years. It was time to take them shoes off and walk into his destiny now and move all that filth and dirt that he walked in before up off him. So he had to take his shoes off in order to stand on that holy ground. Remember that? He He couldn't even wear his shoes to this degree of service because of what it has been through. He had to take them shoes off and start again barefooted. Barefooted, that is. Barefooted. 2 words. Bare and on foot. Holy ground. Right? Bare. Meaning bear everything. He had to bear everything down before he can even get on that holy ground. He had to bear everything. Barefooted. Emphasis on barefooted. 2 words. Bear. He had to bear everything before he can step foot on that holy ground. All right. So, when you are being discipled, you understand, as a warrior for Christ, when you are being discipled, discipling is a thing. Just in case people forget, discipling is a thing. It is a thing. People in the hood disciple their brothers. Yes, they do. People in the hood disciple their brothers. They know about this discipling better than the people of Christ know about this discipling. They know way more about discipling better than you do. They disciple their brothers for evil. You all supposed to be discipling your brothers for good, which is uplifting. Forget about that copying stuff. In the hood, they don't even use copying. They are uplifting their brothers. You understand? Do you understand me? They are uplifting their brothers. They ain't looking at nobody copying off. They don't got time for that. They got things to do and move quickly because they know that they not going to be here long. They already know because they did some things they wasn't supposed to do, and they got to hurry up and move quickly. They ain't got time for copying. And then the brothers who taking on to what they teaching them, they teaching their brothers, and they brothers is adhering to what they teaching. Okay? They brothers is adhering to what they teaching because they giving to their brothers. That's something nobody has ever done before. That's all they looking at. They ain't looking at all that wacky, crazy crap that people be talking about. Forget that mess. That ain't what warriors really looking at. They looking at integrity, honor, and uprightness. That's it. Within their brother. And whatever they deem to be that, that's what they're going to adhere to. Especially when they don't know nothing else other than what they see surface wise, because nobody else is coming into their neighborhood teaching them nothing else other than what they already learning from the other brother that's discipling them physically. So you better know it, that the evil know about discipling better than we do as children of God. We so busy worried about who copying each other when everybody knows something. We just here to bring it back to remembrance. This stuff ain't ours. This stuff belong to God. So every leader, just don't overcrowd me. Let me do my work and you do yours. That's it. And people in the hood, they ain't crowding each other like that. They letting that person do their work and they doing theirs. Because they know better than us on how to do it. Which we should be doing it just like that, but even greater, with greater power at the end. Although, let's talk about how it's not about the power of which people talking about in these churches and stuff like that, and in out of the church. It's people who worried about the power. Man, it's gonna take the power of God in order for you to make it out alive. And I'm going to go into that about the power of God. People keep talking about it's not about the power. No, it's not about the power. But it's going to be about the power of God. It is. It's going to be about the power and the power of God at the end, because God's Son is what's going to bring you to that power in the end. And that's going to dictate whether you live or die. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not about the power, but it's about the power of God. So let's revisit that and look at that differently. And I'm going to talk about that too in another video. So all this stuff that I'm talking about now is going to be in another video as well. So let me just say this. Let's just say this. If evil is not afraid to disciple they people, why then are we so worried about people copying off of our stuff? What the heck? Who made this law up? That's kindergarten stuff. I remember I didn't even know what copying was until I dealt with a bunch of being from the hood, going out into dealing with what they call bougie people. I didn't even know what copying was until I met bougie people. Okay, what they call bougie people. People who think they better than somebody else. I didn't even know what that was until I met them. I just knew about, hey, man, you feed a brother, you get the brother up out of the cage in which he was in. That's all I learned from hood people. But from bougie people, I learned about copying. Oh, this is my stuff. How that's your stuff when somebody else made that? How you take ownership of something that ain't even yours? Somebody else made that. People going off of what they words is and going over there saying that somebody just copied your word. Man, you ain't make a word. Like when I say where they do that at, I didn't even know nobody else said that. I was always saying that before I got on this stuff. Then it's this bougie stuff about people owning stuff, talking about that person stole your, where they do that at. Come on now, ain't nobody got nothing. This stuff been out here. Ain't nobody stole nobody's stuff. Stop it. And also with the other stuff, ain't nobody stole nobody's stuff if it's already been out here. You stole it, if anything, because it came from somebody else. People able to get away with stealing somebody else's stuff and then start talking about somebody's copying their stuff just because they do it before man and many people. Stop it. You are not the greater, because the lesser is just as great as the better. Stop it. Ain't nobody stealing nobody's stuff. What kind of stuff is this? Come on now, y'all. Where are we going with this stuff? So anyway, back to what I was saying is that if the people in the hood ain't even worrying about this stuff, they more so trying to get out of it. So they looking for the next person to feed them what they need to be fed to get up out of it. They ain't worried about no other crap about no copying. Long as they can come up with some ideas of a demonstration of some man before them, they gonna do what that man before them is doing. Because that man is doing what he doing and he's showing what he doing. Which is why the hood need Jesus, so that they can know that this man is a whole different man, a whole different priest, a whole different priesthood, a change in a whole demeanor of man, so that they can follow that man and do what he not what he did on the face of the earth, but what he did and what he's continuously doing in spirit before us. Supernaturally. You understand? So let me get done with this and get it done. And we're moving on to the next situation of some good broadcasting news. Okay. So the again, people in the hood disciple their brothers. They know about this better than we do. And those who are not loyals, they're not loyal to their discipled brother. But look, every man who disciples another man, done in evil, knows that this is not about no copying. This is not something to be stretched out over a long time. They know that. They know they got to hurry up and get this in. They know they got to move quickly due to what can happen. And in every this discipling carries a Judas, of course. Okay, in every discipling carries a Judas. You're gonna get a Judas, so they know what's gonna happen, but they still feeding their disciples. Why can't people of Christ do the same? Instead of acting like babies and worry about who doing something to their stuff. That ain't even your stuff. You got that from Christ Jesus. Stop playing. You just doing that and saying that before man, but you know that ain't your stuff. That stuff you got from Christ. Stop it. And y'all know this. So they also are not looking at each other, the people in the hood, they're not looking at each other as copying. That's kiddie stuff. They only seeing this stuff as discipling another brother, uplifting another brother, taking them up out of where they at, and so that they can know how to come up with many different ideas towards their future. And they won't be staying stuck in the way that they are, but they gravitating to the wrong people because we so busy tripping off of who we are over them. And the less is just as better than the better. This is called moving quickly, okay? And this is what I heard and seen in the spirit. This is called moving quickly. All right? Moving quickly, not to us. We looking at it from a distance. We looking at it from a distance as looking at it like as they are fools. Like, yeah, we looking at the hood people like they fools, copying each other. But that's not even how they really go. That's how some of us are looking at it as these is fools copying each other. They don't know what they doing. Nah, they know exactly what they doing. But it's going to take somebody from this end, on this other end of goodness, to bring it to them. So we from a distance, some of us from a distance, is looking at it in the wrong manner. These some hardcore soldiers in the hood. They soldiers. And God want them. He wants them to transfer from where they are to over where he need them to be. Oh yeah, God want them. But the devil want them even harder. So what you gonna do about that, children of God? So God looking at these brothers as they have warrior hearts, and they can be used very, very well in the kingdom with that much heart. They have heart. And God is looking at them in the kingdom, that they can be in the kingdom with that amount of heart. All right? So that's it. Stay tuned for more. Bye for now.